yes, I do think it is something that should be addressed just because I took race, culture, and identity last year, and we watched a documentary on a school teacher who taught her third grade class about the differences between race, and just a little experiment she did. And I don't think it's very obvious and evident to kids, but the older you get, the more prevalent it becomes. And I think we should be educated on how to handle it. We're not. And instead of, I guess, embracing differences that don't create problems, we end up not embracing them, and thus problems are created.
I think so, yes, because, I mean, as kids, the majority of people spend the majority of their lives in a classroom learning stuff, and for someone to understand like a good diverse area, they should start at a young age, so like they can just live with it, and it's not something that becomes abnormal to them.
Yes, I do actually, because I feel like college is supposed to prepare you for the real world and a job and everything, but that also comes with meeting a lot of different types of people. You have to come to understand them, so that you live in a better community, you understand each other more. So there's more understanding between people, because some people, they actually, from their own community, they actually don't understand a lot of other cultures, and when they do get to know you, they might judge you the wrong way, and there's not that much equality in class sometimes because of it. And I think it's just something that really should be stressed.
How should diversity be implemented in schools?
I think one of the, possibly through cultural studies, international studies.
I don't think there should be a set. I think it shouldn't be something that's like, okay, today we're going to discuss diversity. I think it should just be in the curriculum, just try to make it as subtle and natural as possible. And I mean, we shouldn't try to differentiate it from the rest of what we teach our students.
In high school, college, because you know what? Because you're always gonna have people. You want to hire people. You have to work with people. You want different friends. You don't want to, having different ideas can help you get to the best ideas. So I think learning more brings together a better community.
I mean, I think it's through small ways. I mean, I think the smaller the better, truthfully speaking. How? I'm not an educator. I guess maybe through movies, stories, talking about the crayons and how they all should be in the same box. I do believe the younger the better. How? I'm not sure, but I think the younger we are exposed to it, the better fit will be to handle it the older we get.
I think the public school system right now is very focused and very concentrated on getting grades for regents and APs. It doesn't do too good of a job getting students to think outside the box and understand what diversity is.
Programs like programs that will let you interact with other people, different races.
They're not really developed yet to take on the issues and the intensity of the conversations as well as a college student can. So I feel that they should touch on it some, but not as hardcore as you would get in a college level classroom.
You can, I guess, push your recruiting tactics on how to get people from different areas. I guess they already do that here at St. Lawrence, like trying to target city areas to bring in like the diverse minorities. So I guess you can do more of that, but I don't really know how to do it without seeming kind of fake about it. I don't know how you would go about it.
Well, I mean, like here at St. Lawrence, you have like that, obviously that "can I kiss you" thing they have. Like, I mean, something like that to where they bring different kinds of people in from different cultures, and they talk about certain stereotypes that so-called are true, and then the ones that aren't, and then the ones that are just plain ridiculous.
I think there should be maybe more programs on campus, and to not subject the groups to separate themselves. So not just a group for gay people or just black people or just Latinos, but try to address other people's to get involved.
I think a more appropriate level or grade or age would be preteens, where they're learning a lot about themselves as identity-wise, such as sexually and just themselves in general. Is a pretty good age, like preteen age.
Should schools be responsible for addressing diversity?
it's hard for me to understand why it would not be their responsibility. This is a liberal arts school, which bases its curriculum and its teaching on critical thinking. And when you think critically, you have to be able to assess a wide variety of options, factors, and ideas. So when you think critically, you think in hopefully a way that represents diversity of the issue, or any issue at stake. So it's at the very core of our institution's values. So I don't think should be a specific listed responsibility. It should be just a natural thing that the school does based on its values of critical thinking and liberal arts.
I think it doesn't go on with this school, especially because they try. If you go to the school website, they have the school profile about diversity, and they address the percentage of how many black students, how many Hispanics. So if they really want to brag about that, I think they should address it.
Could be argued. Okay. I mean, in terms of St. Lawrence, it can be argued that diversity is, not the responsibility of the school, and yet they give out scholarships to minority students, and yet, they have scholarships for people from the North Country. So, I mean, that argument to me has really no foundation. It just speaks more to the type of person who is asked or who is stating that, because typically people who come from privileged backgrounds or are very ignorant to the fact that there are other types of people out there and they live very different lives, that's their excuse. And oh, the school shouldn't have to provide it. Why not? You don't know what you could learn from someone else who is different from you. You don't know, the type of adventures you can possibly have if you were to only step out of your little box and just venture off with someone else. So in response to that, now as an upperclassman, I won't even say anything about that. The person is obviously ignorant, and I don't care if they're a faculty member down to a student here. I just want to respond to it. It's stupid.
I think it is the responsibilities of the school, because some parents, especially some minorities, especially from the city, like our parents don't really understand the issues that are going on, and they're just going to speak from opinion-wise of, oh, the white people are taking over and stuff like that. So I think if the school gives a more general idea of what is going on, it'll be a little bit more easier for students to adjust.
I think that's funny because, for example, I know some professors may say that and some students may say that. And I think it's funny with the students because, we go down for these presentations on socioeconomic issues, on global warming, a whole bunch of these presentations. We all live in the same world together. So you know what, if you really are coming to college to study something, people are involved with most likely with what you're going to be doing. And, you want to make a difference, but to make a difference, you need to get along with other people. We're all part of the same world. And, they say that, it's not that important, but I think it's very important. You should care about, why do you care about you care about your own people, but what about the other people?
Well, I think overall, it may not be that argument is valid, but when you have a school system that lists statistics based off of ethnic backgrounds, like 75% Caucasian versus 20% black, such and such statistics just like that you can find on the school's website here, you already bring diversity and you already bring cultural differences into the light of the school system. So if you're going to do that at that point, you're almost charged with the job of continuing that trend to include it into mandatory programmings, like I said, or voluntary programmings, like I said. So I think if you take that first step, the school takes that first step, then yes, it is to the school's responsibility to continue.